Triangle of Sadness. It's a movie by Ruben Östlund, starring Harris Dickinson and Charlbi Dean, and it's nominated for Best Picture this year at the Oscars. Should it be nominated? Should it win? Let's dig in and find out. So, this is the first English language movie from writer-director Ruben Östlund, and it is a unique kind of dark comedy, and not one that I found particularly funny. But it is a dark comedy. If you get in to watch it, you have to understand that they attempted, their intention, I should say, was to make a comedy. Harris Dickinson as Carl and Charlbi Dean as Yaya lead the cast. But in this cast, we also have Woody Harrelson as the captain of the ship. And we also meet an actor by the name of Zlatko Buric. I think I'm pronouncing that correctly. And he plays Dimitri. Before I go any further, I do want to say the sad news is this will be Charlbi Dean's last movie, as she died in August of 2022 of bacterial sepsis in a hospital in New York. So that's kind of sad. She was only 32 years old. But back to this movie. Some of my favorite interactions in this movie are between Woody Harrelson and Zlatko Dimitri, the captain and Dimitri. So the captain of the ship actually fancies himself to be an American socialist. And Dimitri, who is Russian, is a capitalist in Russia. And the two of them start having a conversation, with the American socialist defending socialism and the Russian defending capitalism. And as they get more and more drunk, their conversation gets more and more intense until they're having a full-blown drunken argument on the loudspeaker on the ship. And that interaction was really good chemistry and really kind of funny, leading up to as their debate, argument / conversation builds, the boat tosses more and more as the ship enters a storm. So the captain should probably be doing something else, but and as the ship rocks and rolls, the passengers get increasingly nauseous, and ultimately sick. And they had a massive multi-course meal that we get to see again from most of them. And that whole scene of the ill storm, I felt lasted too long. I didn't find it funny. So the people, as they were puking and sliding and trying to aim and hit toilets as they slid past them, I mean, I understand what they were going for. It just didn't strike me as funny. And then, of course, the ship wrecks. I'm not sure if I did a spoiler warning. So, spoiler warning. I'm going to ruin the movie if you haven't seen it. Sorry about that. But, so the ship wrecks, and they end up on an island. So let's talk about what Triangle of Sadness might mean. In American modeling, the area between your eyebrows down to your nose is the Triangle of Sadness. In every language, there's a different name for it. This movie in French is entitled Sans Filtre, which means without filter. I almost like that better for this movie. But the Triangle of Sadness has more to do with these rich people on this boat who are having every one of their self-indulgent requests granted, and that they are in a permanent state of lack of satisfaction. Like there is nothing that's ever good enough. And eventually ends up transforming into actual misery when the shipwreck happens and they end up in an adult version of Lord of the Flies. So the sense of empty affluence with the story setting could be, the Triangle of Sadness, like the Bermuda Triangle or the Devil's Triangle of Sadness. The movie doesn't leave a whole lot for the audience to unpack. It's pretty surface-driven. About our societal inequities and what might happen if they unravel. So on the boat, the affluent people give orders to the servants. And then once the shipwreck happens and we end up on land and there's only one person that knows how to catch fish, so everybody's going to die if she stopped catching fish, she becomes the most important person on the island and she begins a power trip. I wanted to like that actress and her performance, but it seemed very one note to me, and that may be the way the director wanted it, but it was just a little monotone. And like I said, there's not a lot else to unpack. They tried to show us a few times that Carl meant what he said when he loves Yaya, but it never really rings true. Everybody in this movie is so self-indulgent, so narcissistic, that you don't believe that they even possess the capability of loving somebody else. So in the end, when the final scene is Carl running through the jungle to try and save Yaya, you have to believe at that point that he loves her in order to try to save her, or it makes no sense. And for me, it made no sense. There is a scene where a donkey ends up giving its life to feed the shipwrecked people, and we don't see the killing of the donkey. We hear the killing of the donkey and see the reaction of the people watching. And that scene was very black, very dark, but ultimately very funny. But it's, Woody Harrelson's argument with the Dimitri and the donkey were the only two spots that I actually laughed in this comedy. The twist at the end wasn't unforeseen. I wonder, especially after we saw the souvenir vendor come through. Like, oh, okay. And that's just still part of it. The affluent people couldn't figure that out, that's where they were. All in all, I didn't dislike this movie, but I don't think it's Academy nomination worthy. Since I don't think it should have been nominated, I'm pretty sure it shouldn't win. What did you think? Let me know in the comments if you like this movie, if you think it's adequately nominated. If this movie is going to be nominated, I don't know why The Menu was not then, or The Whale. So, I think this year, I'm going to do a preview of the Oscars on Saturday, the 11th, before the Oscars air on Sunday the 12th. And I'll give you a lot more of my thoughts about each category. And I will do my sheet of integrity, where I will commit to who I think the Academy is going to give the award to, and then who I think should have gotten it if there's a difference. And in some places, I think there is a difference. But so that's it for me for Triangle of Sadness. Worth watching if you have the time. But let me know what you thought of it. And if you like these reviews, give me a thumbs up. Maybe hit the notification bell so you know when the others drop. And I'm Sean. This is Sean's Take. And that's it. See you next time.